I am resident of Colorwood for YouTube, Joel Sage. That is Chloe Thomas. We're here to talk 388. Yes, I got the number wrong earlier. I'll call myself out. So, we're going to talk episode 388. A lot of mischief in this, mischief fun in this episode, done by not just by Angelique, but Reverend Trask is interrogating the hell out of Lieutenant Forbes here.
Yeah.
Really great episode you picked here. We got some interrogation from Trask talking to Forbes. What did you think of Jerry Lacey as Reverend Trask?
Oh, he was fabulous. I mean,
oh yeah,
he was. I'll forever hate him for killing my Angelique, but he was excellent. Of all the Trasks he did, though, the original Trask, I know this sounds ridiculous, but the original Trask he did was the best, as opposed to the son and the grandson. I think there was two others in the different episode lines.
Yeah, there's for all the reverends we get a Reverend Trask here. We get basically Reverend Gregory Trask in 1897. We get, no, he's not a reverend, but we get Lamar Trask, who is an undertaker.
Right. And he's the one who is this Trask's son.
Yes.
Lamar. Yes. But Jerry Lacey was great, and I loved him as Tony Peterson as well.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing. They introduced Jerry Lacey as Tony Peterson, or some call him Anthony, I believe. Before he becomes obviously Reverend Trask.
Right.
Now, when he first appears as Reverend Trask in 1795, as soon as I saw him, I'm like, Jerry Lacey would make a hell of a Solomon Kane, because that's how they really did dress him sort of like a Solomon Kane type in a way. What did you think?
Well, I remember when I first saw it when I was little, and my grandfather's favorite film was Casablanca, and I thought to myself, well, I said, look, that's that man in Casablanca. I think he looked just like Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah, he does. He's put a very, very, very spitting image of Humphrey in a lot of ways. As a guy who owns a couple Humphrey Bogart movies, he does a really good job of. I really love how Jerry Lacey plays this episode as an inquisitor investigator.
Right.
Not just witch hunter crusader. He does do that in this episode, but he also pulls it back a bit to where it's, okay, I'm investigating the people around me to find out what is there witchcraft going on here. What did you think?
No, I thought that he did that. I mean, he interrogates Nathan Forbes and sort of threatens him with his naval career. And then with Josette, he's trying to pry it out of her. And of course, Josette doesn't really ever know what's really going on. So she's not much help to him. But Jerry Lacey was one of the better actors. I mean, all the actors were good, but he was one of the better ones, I felt. And he was very, very good in this. He even got better later on. But this incarnation, or this original Trask, was my favorite.
Yeah, we get some making out on this episode. Barnabas and Angelique walk clips here.
Do we? Oh,
yes.
The favorites. I just love both of them so much. I really do. They're fabulous together.
I do like that they have this embrace done in Angelique's room. It's
in his room.
Oh, sorry, we're in his room. My apologies. But later on, they're not in theirs. She's like, well, why didn't you come to my room? So,
Right.
but yeah, in his room, they have this embrace because she's
Mhm.
massaging his head. And
Mhm.
he's like, I hate Josette. It's like, are you telling this to yourself?
Right.
Um, and then later, after they embrace, and he's like, yes, I could be with you. So he is willing to submit to Angelique here and be with her.
Mhm.
But that's not going to last the whole entire episode. We're going to get
No.
some, because of Trask's, and I hold Reverend Trask fully responsible for this. Um, as he's interrogating Josette, and the little, what he calls the devil's mark, disappears, and now she's
Yeah.
thinking more clearly. And Barnabas walks in on this. He's not too happy with Trask.
Mm-mm.
What did you think
Right.
of
Oh, I wish Barnabas would mind his own business. But I think he's such a pain sometimes, no matter how much I love him. But, he doesn't like Trask. He thinks the man's a fanatic and he's
Yeah.
trying to protect Victoria. Of course, at this time, Barnabas doesn't really believe in witchcraft, but in earlier episodes, he is fascinated with the occult.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, he sees Josette being interrogated and he has Trask stop it. And then there's this, I actually like the scene between him and Josette, where he's trying to ask her leading questions. You know, are you in love with him? Well, you married him because you loved him, right? Was there
Yeah.
anything you could have done differently? And the way Jonathan, his facial expressions when he delivered those lines, it was just perfect. Um, but anyway, she never admits anything because I don't know why, but she doesn't. She's one of those goody goody girls, whatever. Anyway, and he leaves.
I think
And
too.
huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, and I was going to say he leaves, and I guess that's when he decides that he'll always worship Josette. And I'm like, really, really? Let me
Yeah.
throw something at you.
Where's a brick?
I know, right? Right?
Yeah. I do like the fact that they have Josette sort of pull this. Oh, I don't know how I feel. I don't know. I wasn't sure. But then you have this. You have this opportunity of. It keeps the aspect of, hey, Jeremiah did get shot in a duel. He's near death's door. She's got a lot going on, so her mind is on her husband.
Right.
But she's also been under this spell of Angelique.
Hmm.
And I do love the fact how Trask does ask her about Victoria, and she's like, well, I barely knew her. She never
Right.
even knew me. She was a stranger to me. I barely had any interaction with her. Why would she want to hurt me?
Right.
Like, it's sort of poking holes in Trask's in his potential case, because here's somebody who's like, that doesn't make sense in a
Right.
sense. Though he does find it interesting that the mark disappears, and I do agree with him here. It's like, okay, that was a bit odd.
Yeah.
From the storytelling standpoint, it's like, okay, the mark just went away. And it's probably because it's like, so you know what? I got Barnabas in the bag. That's probably what that was. That was a charity case. That's what,
Right.
But I really love how because they talk about Joshua being gone, and it's like, really, who the hell misses Joshua? Like, like really, you miss a guy who was literally a prick to everybody.
Yes.
Like, no.
Right.
No, Lewis Edmonds is missed because he gives off a great performance.
Oh yeah.
But like when they say about Joshua missing, it's like, dude, the cat is Joshua. What do you mean? Here's a question. Yeah. Here's a question for if Jeremiah doesn't get shot and he's actually up and around,
Mm-hmm.
do you think You think Reverend Trask has the lay of the land here? You think he puts up with him, or he just tells them to beat it and get lost?
Oh, Jeremiah? No, I don't think he would. But I think he would come off as befuddled as Josette does, depending on if that pitchfork shows up or not on him.
Yeah.
Because when that pitchfork isn't there, why did we do this? I don't know. I felt we had to. Did you? I don't know. And I liked Anthony George in this role. I was sad to see him to leave. And they didn't replace. Well, he died, but I liked him. And then he was Burke Devlin, of course. But I liked. He was a good actor. I liked him.
It's really, there's a scene, not in this episode, but when Josette and Jeremiah they run off together.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene in the woods where there's this voice that it's taunting Barnabas as Jeremiah, but it's not Anthony George's voice.
No.
I was always sort of like, well, that's odd, because maybe they just couldn't get Anthony George to do it. Maybe they didn't have time for him to specifically record that.
Are you talking about the one when they find Josette's scarf because they're searching for Josette? Is that for the wedding?
I think so. And I think Barnabas hears a voice. Like, he hears this voice and he sees it, and he's like, "You're not Jeremiah."
And it's a little guy, right? It's a little guy.
Yeah.
You know who that guy is, don't you?
No.
You know John Cryer from 2.5 Men?
Really?
Not him. It's his father.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Angelique creates that. So he knows that that Josette has run away with Jeremiah, or has left him at the altar. I can't remember. It says that she's with Jeremiah.
Yeah, Angelique creates the illusion of it.
Yes.
And it's really well done, because again, you're not really fooling the audience, or really that it was Jeremiah who did that. Mm-hmm. But it's not meant to fool. It's more meant to have this dividing rod, but it's not really fooling Barnabas either. At first, until they return married and he's all pissed off and ready to throw down with pistols. But
yeah.
So I have to ask you, is Barnabas the worst shot ever, or what? With a gun?
Well, he shot Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And really killed him.
Yeah.
He shot Angelique and thought he killed her.
Yeah. Did you see? My favorite expression does not happen in this episode. It happens in the episode right before the duel happens, where when Angelique hears about this duel that's going to go down, she's got the look like, "Oh, come on, you got to be kidding me!" Look, she's looking like, "Oh God, I got to protect this idiot from him getting killed in the goddamn duel."
She brings him the pendant.
Yes. Yes.
Have you ever had a duel? Have you ever fought? No. Well, what makes you think you could
do this? Yes.
Angelique is the smarter one. You know that, right?
Yeah, and here's the thing too. Well, I mean, yeah, she is the smarter one, because when she realizes this man can't shoot, I've seen him shoot. He can't shoot. She has a look on her face like she's seen him, with a gun. And results aren't good.
Right.
So she's concerned. She, like you said, she gives him this pendant. It doesn't happen in this episode, but it's all that sort of corroborates with here, because the duels happened. Mm-hmm. Jeremiah is near death. Joshua is MIA. Well, he's a cat.
Yeah.
And no. And you have Angelique making out with Barnabas. Mm-hmm. Barnabas is still throwing himself at Josette because he's pissed off at Trask. Mm-hmm. Because he's searching for Victoria. He's headhunting for Victoria, because he thinks she's a witch. Mm-hmm. And Barnabas is like, that woman's not a witch. Which Forbes doesn't think so either.
No.
And he does tell Barnabas, look, I'm concerned. We better not get caught helping her because we could both be in some serious trouble.
Right.
Which I agree. You know, you're trying to look out for your own neck here.
Mm-hmm. And he's not the heir to a fortune like Barnabas is.
Right. His dad isn't of wealth or power.
Right.
Because if Joshua wasn't a cat right here at this point, Joshua would just look at like Trask and say, "Get the hell out of here."
Right.
That's, but there's so much good stuff going on in this episode. What's some of your favorite moments from this one?
Oh, well, all the scenes with Angelique and Barnabas, of course.
Yes.
I do like where Trask is interrogating Josette. I like the scene with Barnabas and Josette. What else? I like Nathan Forbes. I like what was his name? I want to call him
Joel Carruthers.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. I like him when he plays Nathan Forbes better than Joe Haskell. He has more of edge, more duplicity to him. He's a more interesting character, and he's very good looking. But
yeah.
He is. He's a very, very good looking man. Yeah, I like him a lot. I'm trying to think what else. That episode is only 23 minutes long, but it seemed longer to me. And I watched some after it too, so I think I'm mixing some up. But we don't see Victoria in this episode, do we? No, I don't think so.
No, she gets a mention. She gets a shout out.
She's hiding up in the stables, they say.
Yeah.
I just like this episode because I think I usually always think the acting is good in almost every episode, except for maybe a couple people here and there, depending on the scenes. But this is one of my favorite episodes of the Vampire Curse storyline.
Yeah. What did you think about Angelique basically thinking Victoria's a witch? Basically, I know she's drawn attention. Right. Yeah. I know she's drawn attention away from herself, but when she says it to Barnabas, "Oh, that woman's a witch," like when you first heard that, were you shocked that she's going that desperate or no?
No, because Angelique is deeply in love with this man, and I think she's desperate, and because she's such a beautiful woman. Any man except this befuddled fool would want her. And actually, he did want her.
Yes.
And he did have her. And she's just very deeply in love. And like many people, when you are desperate, you do foolish things. Unfortunately, not all of us can be supernatural and make these curses happen. I wish we could, though. Anyway, no, I think Angelique is very clever, although I will say that Angelique in these early scenes is more desperate, is more I don't want to use the word vicious because I don't think she's vicious, but I think she's more willing to take chances that later on in the series she does not. As the series develops, she becomes more level-headed. She'll still do the spells and she'll still get her way, but she's more clever about it. It's almost as if, well, it is. Angelique is very young here, and when people are very young, they make foolish decisions, foolish actions. And even Barnabas, even though Barnabas is really the same age. I mean, the way they make him look, he looks like a little puppy almost to me. Like a little befuddled puppy.
Yeah. I think that's one thing Dark Shadows doesn't get enough credit for. It's a lot of DS is about growing up, really, as a person, whether you have supernatural powers or not. It doesn't get enough credit for sort of telling that kind of maturity story because none of us start off as mature. We're all immature at certain ages. And here's Angelique, who's she's got these powers, but she's so desperate. She's very immature of how to use that why she's using them. She's just using them for her own personal gain, and not really, I think at times, not really thinking about how she's hurting those other people around her at times.
Right.
Like taking Sarah's doll, like what's coming. She's gonna like cause her to get sick and
Yeah.
get Barnabas to agree. Hey, if I could cure Sarah, would you marry me? Because Barnabas is a man of his word, and that's
yeah, okay. Let's not go crazy here.
I mean, he does marry her. He keeps his word.
Yeah, okay.
He didn't say anything about not putting a bullet in her.
Yeah, or trying to poison her.
Yeah, or trying to stab her or anything.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
It's not like there's a contract that says he can't stab his wife. I mean, hey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or trying to shoot her. Hey,
right.
He needs the target practice. Okay, I mean, come on. No. Oh my god. I do, even though it's not in this episode, I do love how when Barnabas gets bit, how worried Angelique really is after
because she knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And she thinks, if I'm going by the books that Laura had written, the first one, Angelique's Descent, even though she has been around since the 1600s, she really wasn't using her powers until she came to Collinwood and was trying to get what she wanted. And so that showed a lot of her immaturity too, because she didn't know how to use these powers. And she tried to lift that curse and she could not.
Yeah.
And then when he does die, and I'm telling you, when he's delirious, Fred, oh my God. So he's just a great actor. But anyway, when he does when she does go to kill him, to stake him in the mausoleum, I mean, she's worried. She's scared of him. And she's never scared of anybody, but she's scared of him then.
Yeah, so she is. Yeah. She's panicking.
Yeah. Let's go in the house. Let's go have some dinner.
Yes. I do love how she has Sarah's doll at the end of this. She says she's going to take it up to her, but no, that doesn't happen. She keeps it.
Yep.
Just so many great things, and you're right. Joel Carruthers in this episode and Jerry Lacey really, really, really good. There's something I need to ask you. What did you make of all the cool costumes we got to see?
All of the what? I'm sorry.
The cool costumes we got to see in this.
The costumes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure what you were saying. The costumes. Oh, I love the costumes in this period. Barnabas is always so colorful, I have to say. Green and purple, and I mean, I like it. It's like he's a prince. And even Angelique's, even though she's a servant, her stuff is pretty. I mean, it's dainty, it's pretty. And that dress that Josette had on, it was like an orange gold. That was interesting. But I love the costumes in this whole storyline. They're very pretty.
You remember what Barnabas's tarot card was? It was the prince.
Oh, that's right. It was. You're right. It was. You know, I like, who's a little get-ups I like in this period line is the Countess Dupre. Grayson Hall. I mean, she's got the hat with the feathers, and I said, now that is cool. I like that. And then Joan Bennett, she has beautiful dresses in this period too.
Yeah, because we do get to see like a tease of some of how it's going to look with Barnabas's costume party. Like we see Lewis Edmonds, we see Joan Bennett. We see I think Nancy Barrett, I believe. We see Victoria Winters. And we see Anthony George, but we don't see Joel Carruthers. We don't, until later on. And when we see everybody in their outfits, they do a really good job of having these cool, old timey clothes look really, really great. Like,
Yeah, I like the dress at Barnabas's ball that Victoria wore. It was like it wasn't in a colored episode, but I'm imagining it was either a white or a beige satin with this little puffy sleeves. I thought it was so pretty.
Yeah, I think she's wearing Josette's dress, I think.
Yeah, I think, because then he decided to give up Maggie after he kidnapped her.
Yeah.
And decided to make Victoria Josette. Oh God, that man needed a good punch in the head. I don't
Anyway.
know.
Like my favorite scene in this episode is the scene where he's talking to Angelique about being friends. She's got the doll, like she's got the pissed off look on her face.
Mm-hmm, yep. He always wants to be friends.
Yeah, like friends. You were just making out with this woman. Friends.
I know, right?
Yeah, friends.
Yeah, I don't blame her for being pissed off. I really don't. And sometimes I wonder, all the stuff through the series that he has said to her, done to her, treated her. And I'm not saying she's innocent. She's not.
No.
But why she never gave up on him? I mean, she loved this man. And I don't know. I think I would have probably kicked him to the curb at some point.
Well, she does tell him in 1897, even creatures like us become bored, Barnabas,
Yep, she does. I'm bored with you.
like really? Like, you're still dumbing around with this stuff, really?
Right.
But yeah, I do think, no characters without their faults in this series. But that's what makes them all the more relatable, too. Really, really watchable, great acting. And I do like, if there were a title to this episode, it would be Friends with Benefits, ? It really would.
Friends with Benefits.
I went there.
Get any benefit. She gets a kiss and he gets a head rub.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
I don't know. I don't know. To me, she was the best looking girl on the show, and he's crazy. I don't know. But if we didn't have that between them, they would not have been nearly as exciting and charismatic as they are.
Yeah, it's the chemistry and everything.
Oh yeah,
so good.
It is between the two of them.
Yeah, really, really good. Let's see. I have no more questions for you. Is there anything you want to add, or before we go for the episode?
No, not really. No.
Let's see. What do you? Because I gotta look at stuff here. What do you? Oh, where's my calendar? What are you doing? Let's see. The 14th.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'll be around. Okay. What do you want to talk about that day?
Well, that's the 14th. Well, let's oh shit, that's Valentine's Day.
I know. I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah, I would see that. Let's shoot for can you do the 15th or no?
Yeah, it's a Saturday, right?
Yeah. Let's talk about the kidnapping of one Maggie Evans.
Oh, that was really good. You mean down in the cellar and the Phantom of the Opera thing?
Yeah. Let's talk about the whole thing. The kidnapping, the escape, little Sarah Collins.
Yeah. London Bridge is falling down. Yep. That'll be good.
Okay.
That was good episode.
I want to thank you, Chloe, for giving me your time. This was a lot of fun. By the way, great episode selection is 388. Go check it out. It is well worth watching. You can find Chloe Thomas on Facebook. Go check her out. She's a very, very nice DS fan. I'll see you in a couple weeks, Chloe. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.